No, I thought our guys did a good job. Inter-squad scrimmages are always difficult. As one team scores, you look at the defense. You know, as one team doesn't score, you look at the offense. You can always put the critical eye on your own team. But I thought the one good thing about today was that they had an opportunity to be around 14,500 people, that you had 3 Pac-12 officials there, and every time that we can get our team out there together, I think it gets us off to a better start. So the butterflies, that feeling isn't quite as strong. Let's hope in the next couple of weeks.
Sean, can you talk about the chemistry of the team? I know it's really early, and 2 years ago you caught it at the end of the year and did that little magical run. The importance of having that in general, and then maybe how it might apply to this year's.
Well, yeah, I mean, today's the last day that we're on different benches. From this point on, we all go to one bench, and not everybody on our team will shoot the amount of shots that they want, score the amount of points that they hope to, play the amount of minutes that they aspire to play. And then how we as a coaching staff, as a team, and them as individual players handle that is crucial to our success. It's also equally important that we start to define roles. You know, it's not a good shot for everybody to shoot the same way, the same time. Some of our guys are better in the post. Defensively, we're going to need somebody to take the reins from someone like Kyle Fogg, who, when I look at last year's team and I look at our film, there wasn't a better perimeter defender on our schedule or in the Pac-12 a year ago than Kyle, what he did for us. Now on this year's team, somebody's going to have to want to do that. It takes a lot of sacrifice. So I speak for, I think, all coaches. October, I don't know if any of us have it worked out, but I think if you have a team of depth, you really are starting to look more and more as you get closer to the beginning of the season to see how that's going to happen. And when it doesn't work out, as an individual player, it's important they handle it well. When they don't, then it's really going to be met with force. This isn't the place to pout. This isn't going to be the place to want more and act like it. We're a true team in every sense of the word. And if you look at the 1988 team, and Judd Bushler said it, he averaged 3 points a game that year. I don't know if he sulked or pouted or what he did, but I know this, that his last year, he was almost a double-double every game. But during that year, in the Final Four year, a player who played in the NBA for more than a decade averaged 3 points. And on this year's team, if we're going to reach the pinnacle and reach our goals and be the best we can be, much better team than a year ago, we certainly are going to have sacrifice. We're not there yet because the red-blue game, everybody plays.
What was it like to face many members of this year's team when you were in?
It was miserable. It was one of those feelings that as a visitor, that you came out and you saw this crowd, you saw the talent, and you knew that it was going to be a really hard night. For us to have a chance to win, you're going to have to play great. And it was apparent to me, and I think Matt Muehlbach told me that I didn't play against this team. I played the year later. So that would have been Sean Elliott's senior year. And then, unfortunately, I came back 2 years later and got more of the same. So, but that year, I think Sean had 37 points in that game, and I can remember the crowd. And it's like Sean Elliott said when he took the microphone, that when visiting teams come to McKale this year, it should be a tough experience. That's what we aspire to become as a team. 2 years ago, that's what we had. 17-0 at home, and every time we played a home game, it was precious to us, and our crowd willed us to so many wins. And hopefully we can get that same thing going this year.
You've said you like the chemistry and the attitude of the new guys. I mean, do you think just going into it, that it bodes well for you to develop this kind of chemistry? Or you still think there's going to be times where you need to hammer it out, like you said?
I think we'll always need to hammer it out at times, but I believe that every team has that, especially if you have depth. But the one thing that I can speak on is you get a sense for how hard your team works and how together they are. But especially this year's team, because remember all the time we've already spent together. And we are a team that works hard, and it is together. I credit our young players. They've come in here willing to listen and learn. They're very good teammates. That's part of right now why I feel good about our team. But I think it's important for our veterans. We have some veterans that have seen the highest of highs and have not felt good about certain outcomes. And it's that combination that I think has forged a lot of strength in our upperclassmen, because they want to leave a legacy on a good note, their legacy. They want to leave their season, their final year here in McHale, and they want it to be special, and I think they're hungry to do that.
What do you think the general reaction was from the freshmen in terms of being in that atmosphere? Was there a lot of deer in the headlights look did you get, or a lot of sense of calm from this particular class?
I think all of the guys were nervous to some degree. I mean, it's 14,500 people, and it's something you build towards. They've all known about this game for some time, but all of them were in the stands last year. They were just happened to be the recruits at that time, so I think they had a pretty good feel for what's to come. But like I said, it was good they got their feet wet. You know, if you looked at Caleb, he missed some shots close to the basket in the first half, but if you watched him in the second half, I thought he settled down more. And every time those guys get out there, or he gets out there, he's going to continue to get better and grow.
Were there any other individual performances jumped out at you today that you're not seeing in practice and just kind of opened your eyes?
No. You know, Grant Jarrett has been one of the early season surprises. I knew of his talent and got great belief in him as a player, but you don't always know how soon things are going to come. In the first week of practice, you know, we have the gold standard where the leading practice player, the best player statistically through those 6 practices, wears a gold jersey. And he won it, which is very difficult to do as a freshman. But the gap between him and Solomon finished second, was really significant. I think it just shows that Grant has really gotten better